And it's revealing how chronic stress, that constant alert mode we mentioned, the screen overload, the lack of real connection, how it basically brings out the absolute worst version of all those personality traits we just talked about.
It really does. It's like pushing all your vulnerability buttons at once. So the person who's naturally hypersensitive, under chronic stress, they don't just feel things more intensely. They become completely overcome, almost painfully vulnerable.
And the shy person.
They don't just withdraw a bit. They completely block up, can't speak, can't connect, just shut down. The obsessive person gets locked in those ruminating thought loops, endlessly replaying things.
And the perfectionist.
Oh, boy. Yeah, the perfectionist lives in this constant state of vital dissatisfaction. Nothing is ever good enough, ever. It fuels this relentless, exhausting cycle of striving and never quite arriving.
And this mental stress.
Yeah.
It actually shows up physically too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Somatization.
Yes, absolutely. Somatization is when that internal turmoil, that mental stress, manifests as real, tangible physical symptoms. Your body is literally talking back.
Like what kind of symptoms?
Oh, it can be a huge range. Chronic gut issues, IBS, indigestion, seemingly random numbness or tingling in your hands or feet, those annoying eye twitches that don't stop, blurred vision sometimes, even chronic joint pain that doctors can't find a specific cause for.
So it's not just all in your head.
Not at all. It's your nervous system, especially the vagus nerve connecting your brain and gut, getting stuck in high alert because of the mental stress. Your body is sending clear signals.
Which really leads to a crucial question for everyone listening.
Yeah.
What specifically puts you in that alert mode? Identifying your personal stressors is key.
Absolutely key. You need to know your triggers. Is it specific people, certain memories, particular situations like, I don't know, public speaking or financial worries, maybe just being stuck in traffic or checking your bank balance.
Could even be an old wound you haven't dealt with.
Definitely. Something from the past, keeping your whole system on edge even if you're not consciously thinking about it. Which brings us naturally to the role of fear.
Ah, fear. The big one.
Yeah, and it's important to say fear isn't inherently bad. It's real, it's physiological, wired into our amygdala deep in the brain, and we need it for survival, for prudence. It stops us doing stupidly dangerous things.
Right. Don't want to eliminate it completely.
No, but the big problem Marian points out, is when fear stages a coup in your mind. When it takes over, influencing all your decisions, paralyzing you, it shifts from being a helpful advisor to a dictator.
Yeah. And some fears are obvious, like fear of it getting sick or fear of death.
Yeah.
But a lot are more subtle, aren't they?
Oh, hugely. Operating just below the surface. Like the fear of disappointing people, the fear of not being perfect, of failing, the deep fear of not being loved or accepted for who you really are, fear of losing control, fear of suffering, of pain itself.
Some of those, in small doses, might even be healthy, like a little fear of disappointing someone might make you more considerate.
Exactly. Small doses can be necessary drivers. But when they become the overwhelming lens through which you see everything, that's when they become really detrimental to your well-being.
Okay, and then there's this other concept, emotional foundations, cimientos emocionales. What's that about?
Ah, this is so powerful and often unconscious. These are the patterns, the ways of relating, the whole emotional atmosphere we absorbed in our childhood home, from our parents, grandparents, whoever raised us. We internalize it all as normal.
So it's like the blueprint for our emotional life.
Precisely. It shapes everything: how you learn to show affection or not show it, how conflict is handled, what a normal power dynamic looks like, even things like how you eat or talk about feelings. It all comes from that early blueprint.
And the key is to actually look at that blueprint to figure out if it's healthy.
Yes. That's the crucial, liberating step. Identify those patterns within yourself. Are they serving you now? Or are they toxic? Are they unconsciously leading you to repeat unhealthy cycles in your own relationships, maybe choosing partners who mirror those old dynamics?
You mentioned an example from Marian's work,
Hmm.
the patient with the alcoholic father.
Yes, such a poignant example. Grew up seeing all the dysfunction, the suffering. Yet, as an adult, she unconsciously kept choosing partners who were also alcoholics. Because on some deep unconscious level, that pattern felt normal, familiar.
Yeah, well, so we can end up choosing from that place of old wounds or lack rather than what's actually good for us now.
Exactly. Choosing from familiarity, even if it's damaging familiarity, instead of from conscious, healthy desire, it's a powerful unconscious pull.
Which really brings us to the antidote, doesn't it? Meaningful relationships and oxytocin.
The great antidote, and the science backs this up so strongly, those famous, long-running Harvard studies on human flourishing. Decades of research.
What did they find? What's the most important thing for aging well, for being happy and healthy long term?
It wasn't money. It wasn't career success, not primarily. It wasn't even just physical fitness. The single most important factor, the quality of your close relationships, connection.
That is monumental, isn't it?
It really is, because the flip side is just as powerful. Loneliness is profoundly toxic. Feeling truly alone, chronically isolated. It literally makes you sick.
Feeling unloved, rejected.
Makes you sick. Feeling humiliated, shamed, makes you sick. It's not just feeling bad emotionally. It directly impacts your physical health, your immune system, your stress levels. Loneliness is like a slow poison.
Which is why oxytocin is so important. You called it the great vaccine for the coming years.
I truly believe it is. It's that bonding hormone, right, released right from birth, during childbirth, lactation, crucial for that first mother-child bond. But it keeps working throughout our lives.
Yeah.
When we're genuinely present with our vitamin people, the ones who lift us up, make us feel seen, loved, safe, our brains release oxytocin. And biochemically, what does it do? It directly lowers cortisol levels, calms that stress response right down.
Wow.
It strengthens the immune system. It actually improves how we see ourselves. Our self-perception becomes more positive. And here's the beautiful part. It empowers us to be vitamin people for others. It's this amazing positive feedback loop that literally changes our body chemistry for the better.
Okay, that's a perfect transition to part 2. Shaping your reality. We need to talk about optimism and maybe even more importantly, our inner dialogue.
Yes. This is such a core idea from Marian's work. Happiness isn't really about what happens to us. It's about how we interpret what happens to us.
The lens we use to see things.
Exactly. It's entirely subjective.
Yeah.
And you see this play out all the time, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Like, have a terrible day at work, boss is mad, project fails, spill coffee everywhere.
Yeah, the worst.
You go home, and even if something genuinely good happens, a partner makes your favorite dinner, kid gives you a hug, it's almost impossible to really feel it, to enjoy it. You're stuck in that negative funk from work.
But flip it around. Have a great day at work, get praise, solve a problem, feel accomplished. Then you get home, and maybe something minor goes wrong, a forgotten chore, a little disagreement. It just doesn't seem like such a big deal.
Right. Your interpretation completely changes the emotional impact, the reality of the moment.
It really does. And where does this tendency towards optimism or pessimism come from? Is it genetic, learned? It's complex, likely a mix. But what's certain is we all have that negative inner voice to some degree.
And historically, that wasn't always a bad thing. A bit of pessimism kept us safe.
For sure, in a hostile environment, being constantly vigilant, expecting the worst, that was actually adaptive. It helped our ancestors survive.
But we're not living in that kind of environment anymore, mostly.
Exactly, and that's the crucial point. We are not biologically designed to live in a state of constant, sustained alert mode in our relatively safe modern world. Chronic pessimism, perpetual worry, it takes a massive toll, physically and mentally. It leads to burnout, illness, exhaustion.
So we need to learn how to switch off that alert mode, engage the relaxation response.
We absolutely do. We need to consciously disconnect, downshift, engage the parasympathetic nervous system through rest, meditation, contemplation, just being present. It's a skill we have to cultivate.
And here's a really mind-bending point Marian makes. Our brain doesn't know the difference between a real threat out there and one we just imagine.
This is so key. Your body reacts the same way. So chronic pessimism is often fueled by our own imagination running wild, dwelling on negative what-ifs that statistically, Marian says 90% of the time never even happen.
But the stress response is real anyway.
Totally real. Your blood pressure goes up, cortisol floods your system, all because of a thought, an imagined scenario. Your brain believes the story you tell it, and your body follows suit.
So optimism, or just a generally positive attitude,
Mm-hmm.
it really comes down to how you talk to yourself. That inner chatter.
Profoundly so. That constant inner hum, often subconscious. And it's not just, positive thinking, woo-woo.
Yeah.
It's scientifically shown that this internal narrative powerfully influences how things turn out for you, your resilience, how you handle challenges.
And neurologically, what does negative self-talk actually do to the brain?
It directly impacts the prefrontal cortex, the smart, rational, problem-solving part of your brain. Negative self-talk, things like, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I'll definitely mess this up. It actually makes your prefrontal cortex less effective, less lucid, less brilliant.
Seriously?
Yes. Think about walking into a job interview thinking, they'll never hire me. Your brain literally has less access to its resources, your knowledge, your creativity, your ability to articulate clearly, because so much energy is being diverted to managing the anxiety caused by that negative thought.
Like a cognitive drain. Same for exams.
Exactly the same. If you're full of self-doubt, your brain struggles to retrieve the information you studied, even if it's in there.